How you doing, guys? It's your boy. And after a couple of years of contemplation and seeing what was available on the market and which option would be best for me, I finally decided to get a 360 camera. And the one I went with was none other than the GoPro Max 2. And in today's video, we're going to open up the box, see what's inside, I'll run it through some tests, all those good things and stuff. This video was not sponsored by GoPro, but if I happen to find any special deals for this camera, I'll put them in the description box down below. But I am part of the YouTube affiliate program, so if I happen to find any special deals for this camera or similar GoPro products, I'll have them tagged throughout the video, and that's just another cool way to help support the channel. But in the meantime, let's get right into it. First and foremost, let's crack open the box and see what we got. So this is the packaging inside the box. Now we gotta rip this open, and this is the official package of the GoPro Max 2. If we turn the box over, it shows us the accessories inside, it shows some other electronic features on the back of the box, shows some other filming features on the other side of the box. But anyway, let's crack this package open. We got this note inside the package letting us know that we need to update the camera before we can use it. And if we open it up, it shows us how to do it. It's a pretty simple process. I'll show you guys how to do that later on. And on the back, it shows us how to mount this camera to a helmet. We also got this QR code for a GoPro subscription. We also got this note on how to mount the camera to an invisible selfie stick. This also came with a lens cloth and multiple GoPro stickers. This is a note on how to use it in cold weather. This is the instructions manual. And this came with a double-sided USB Type-C cable. This is the mounting equipment. Butterfingers, am I right? This camera also has a new type of battery called Enduro battery. It's supposed to be less susceptible to overheating. It's supposed to have a longer battery life. I had to switch over to my phone camera because my GoPro Hero was giving me issues. But anyway, this is the camera right out the box. It's got the lens covers, and we just have to peel off some stickers and unwrap it. And this is what the camera looks like unwrapped. It's a 360 camera, so it's got a lens on both sides. And it's got these vents on this one side. It's supposed to help keep the camera cool, assuming that you have good airflow. This is the power button, and the record button's right on top. This is the side door where you're going to put the battery and charge it via USB Type-C. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now we're going to turn the camera on and get it set up. Since I speak Micanese, we're going to choose that for the language. Then legal stuff, yada yada yada. It gives you the option to turn on GPS. If you want to use the voice settings like GoPro take a picture, this is a good option. Otherwise, I just leave it off. And of course, can't forget the SD card. Now we got this QR code. We got to scan this with our phone camera. That way we can set the camera up. The link takes us to the Quick app. That's the app that allows you to use your camera with your phone. Alright, now we're connected. Next up, we got to update the camera. I think I had a slow connection, so this process did take a while. So just bear with me.
Moments later.
As you can see, the first time it didn't work. It lost connection, so you know what that means. We gotta try it again.
2 very boring minutes later.
However, we did make it through the second time, so we just gotta finish it up. Now they're sending us documents. We just have to accept and continue. Bada bing, bada boom.
A few minutes later.
Still waiting for the update.
5 minutes later.
Still waiting.
5 minutes later.
Now it's finally done. Then it'll ask you to name your GoPro. I just named it GoPro Max. How creative, right? And then it has us sign in, and now we can check the camera out using the phone.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Slow connection, but we finally made it. And as you can see, we can preview before we start recording. We can also adjust the settings of the camera with the Quick app instead of having to use the camera itself. So whatever changes that you make on the phone, that applies to the camera as well. Whether you want to change the resolution, the lighting settings, or anything like that, you can do it all using the Quick app. However, you can use the camera without the Quick app. You just need the Quick app in order to activate and update the camera. You can also use the Quick app to edit the footage. I'll show you guys that later on. Or you can be more traditionalist like me and just use your desktop to edit. I'll show you guys that later on as well. But whether it be the Quick app or the camera itself, it gives you different presets, it gives you different recording settings, pretty much anything that you can ask for. Now before I start recording with this camera, I want to get it set up with the right settings. So we're going to go in the Quick app. First and foremost, with the 360 settings, we're going for the full 8K resolution. For the profile, I'm going to go with standard. And to give myself the most options with editing, we're going to go for 10-bit. I'm going to knock down the EV comp to -0.5. And since I typically record in broad daylight, the ISO max doesn't need to be too high, so we're only going to set that to 800. And personally, I like flat colors, so we're going to go with flat colors for this one. It makes it easier to color grade in post-production, but it also just gives a more natural look to the image. I turned the sharpness down to medium, and we're turning the bitrate up to high. And with all of that out of the way, let's get to filming. Okay, so it's not the sunniest day out right now, but we are trying out the single lens mode to see how everything looks. So we're filming in 4K, 60 frames per second, because that's the maximum resolution that you can get with single lens mode. And we've got the biggest lens view possible. We're using the maximum hyper view, which gets 180 degrees. So you're pretty much able to see everything that's in front of me. But as with GoPro tradition, it does create a lot of distortion when you get that maximum view. But I think it looks pretty cool in its own right. And now we're using the smallest lens view, which is linear. So it's not going to be able to fit as much of what's going on around me in the image, but it also creates less distortion. That would make this the better option if you want less distortion with your image. Okay, so this is the audio coming directly from the camera. It has 6 microphones on it, and it's supposed to help reduce noise compared to previous GoPro models. This is the same raw audio coming directly from the camera, except I put noise reduction in post-production for it. Okay guys, we're back at the house, and I'm going to show all of you how to use GoPro Player. So you'll need to either use that if you're going to be on the desktop, or you'll have to use the Quick app on your phone, or mobile device, should I say, in order to edit and do any modifications with the GoPro footage. So I'm traditional. I like to edit on the desktop. That just comes natural to me, so that's why I do that instead. So let's go open it up. Okay, this is future Mike, and once more problems. So I screen recorded this whole segment of me showing you guys how to edit footage with the GoPro Player on desktop, and it didn't save the screen recording. I don't know why. I tried other screen recordings afterwards. It saved them, but it didn't save this one. Why? Probably because raisins and things and stuff. But what I do say is applicable to the footage that I have on the screen. It's just I was talking about different footage. So I'm gonna have to, you guys are gonna have to just roll with this one. So what I'm talking about does still apply, it's just the footage is different. And the exported footage is going to be the footage that I was actually editing instead of having to overlay different footage from a different time because my computer didn't feel like cooperating with me. But anyway, on with the show. So this is what the footage looks like when you open it up. It's very distorted, as you can see, but that's actually a good thing because you can move the footage around. If you use your mouse, you just drag it around. You can zoom in and out with the scroller. And I mean, look at that. I mean, that looks like something out of a Doctor Strange movie. You know what I mean? But in order for any of this to be saved for the footage, you have to keyframe. So you're going to press this button here. And when you figure out the desired positioning for the lens, then you'll keyframe it. Unfortunately, unlike the Quick app, which has a lot of different tools to edit, it's pretty bare bones with the GoPro Player for the desktop. Anyway, if we go to the bottom right corner, we can change the aspect ratio. We can do horizontal locking, we can rotate the footage, we can zoom in, zoom out, and if you come down here, the very center towards the bottom, you can clip the segment. So basically, you hit the clip button, the one that looks like a pair of scissors, and then you're going to drag this across the footage. So when you're done editing this footage and you got to export, it'll only export this segment of the footage. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but I was trying to use the Quick app in order to do the editing for the 360 footage, but for some reason it wouldn't load the image, and when I tried to export it, it said my phone was out of memory. That's weird, because I have a lot of space on my phone. Not exactly sure why that happened, but If anybody watching has any insight on that, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. Now that I'm done editing the footage, it's time to export it. So we're going to go to the top left-hand corner to File, then we drop down to Export, and it'll ask us which resolution that we want to use. Do we want 10-bit, the codec, stuff like that, bitrate. So we got maximum bitrate because I want to have as much information in the image, which is basically just seeing more stuff. It looks clearer, it looks sharper, etc., yada, yada, yada. Export in 4K, of course. And then we go to Next. We just find a place to drop the footage on. It generally takes a little longer to export footage if you're filming in higher resolutions and exporting in higher resolutions as well. And this is how the footage looks using the keyframing to emphasize me being centered in the picture. And that's about it. And before we wrap up today's video, I'll give you guys my final thoughts on the GoPro Max 2. Based on my first impressions, I think this is a pretty rock-solid camera. I actually wound up getting this camera at a pretty important time because my GoPro Hero's been acting up and now I can't record it for any longer than several seconds. Then I gotta factory reset it, only for the same problem to happen like 10-15 minutes later. It's crazy. I guess it's a wear and tear / age thing. I mean, I've had that camera for a couple of years and it's been through a lot, so maybe that was why, but I digress. But anyway, that was important context because you figure the GoPro Max 2 is going to take a lot of that responsibility from the GoPro Hero. And thankfully it can do that because it also has that single lens shooting mode as I showed you guys earlier. And if we put some footage side by side, it looks pretty comparable. I mean, there's not a ton of difference. Now, even though the GoPro Hero does have a higher resolution, they both look roughly the same, give or take. Depends on the lens view as well, and the usage of colors, all that good stuff. But I think the single lens view looks quite good, and I'm really digging that 360 footage. It looks so cool. You can pretty much edit it however you want. You can make it look like you're rolling on just like a giant basketball or like a planet, you know what I mean? I think it's very trippy for sure. Now, one thing I was hoping for was to be able to link my GoPro wireless microphone to the camera. Unfortunately, even though it has Bluetooth, I guess this isn't Bluetooth capable, because I tried to connect it via Bluetooth. Didn't work. I also tried to use a GoPro Media Mod to plug into the USB Type-C port, and then, connect the receiver of the microphone into that, and then hopefully it would work as an external microphone. That didn't work either. I guess it's just the way it's built. I tried to find some answers on that, and I guess it has something to do with the design, maybe something about the hardware, software. I guess it's just not compatible with Bluetooth or external microphones. That is unfortunate, and I was kind of hoping that it was going to work because the actual microphone quality, I mean, it's kind of usable, but it's really nothing to write home about. Especially if it's windy out or if I'm going fast on my bike. I mean, you can barely hear what I'm saying, unless I add noise reduction in post-production. But I do think the interface is pretty easy to use, and it's also compatible with the Quick app, so I can adjust the camera settings with that. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. It's got a pretty rugged design too. I mean, if I drop this, I'm pretty certain it wouldn't break. Even if I had the lens cap off, if I dropped it, it would, I mean, from what I've seen, it seems like these lenses can take a beating. They're also removable. I haven't actually tried to remove it myself. Hopefully I'll never have to, but I mean, I guess we'll see what happens, right? It also has these cooling vents. This is to help keep the camera from overheating. It's not super useful if it's like very, very sunny, hot and humid outside, but I mean, take what you can get. And even though I didn't do any formal testing with the recording time, I did find myself able to record longer with the GoPro Max versus the GoPro Hero. I still have more things to explore with this camera, so this video is entirely a first impression, but so far, so good. And on that note, I'm going to give GoPro Max 2 2 thumbs up. And as I mentioned towards the beginning, this video was not sponsored by GoPro, but if I happen to find any special deals for this product, affiliate links or not, I'll link them in the description box or have them tagged throughout the video. And on that note, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a lick. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring that taco bell so you get notified the next time I upload. If you want to show super support for your boy, you can visit my Patreon or get a YouTube channel membership, both of which are $1 a month. But anyway, love you guys. Appreciate the continued support of my channel. I'll see you around. Take care.